and officially inaugurate the webinar. Over to Sanjay sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sahoo. At the outset, let me welcome Dr. Rai Chandran from Kozhikode. As he has, Dr. Pavitra Sahoo has already explained in detail about the introduction of Dr. Rai, so I need not say any more. But regarding the topic, I will say that the topic selected is an excellent topic which everybody, right from young to old, is practicing daily. In this way or that way, everybody is doing their exercises. But what is the benefit? What are the merits and demerits, and what are the limitations of physiotherapy? We're going to listen from Dr. Rai, and everybody knows the benefit. I should not say anymore. So without making any delay, I request Dr. Chandran to start the session, and audience will be listening to you. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening, most respected chair, respected professor of PMR, Sanjay Das sir, my dearest friend Sahoo ji, and all my dearest colleagues and residents. I thank Sahoo for giving me another opportunity to present a topic in this auspicious forum. I'll start my talk. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Please go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I think your screen is not share.
Okay, sir. There was a problem with the. 1 minute, sir.
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay.
वही मस्त है एकदम बढ़िया क्या होगा
Okay. Am I audible now?
बहुत नॉर्मल चीज है
Yes, yes. You're
Yes.
audible as well as visible also, and your
Okay.
slides are also visible.
Okay. Robert M. Hutchins, he was a chancellor of Chicago University. He made a statement in some disturbance. Excuse me, can you? Hello? Yeah. In 1960s, he made a statement. Whenever I feel like exercise, I lie down until the feeling passes. Actually, he made a funny statement. But the importance of this statement is that in that period of time, in late 1960, 1900, 1960s and 70s, the main villain which causes mortality among humans become the lifestyle diseases displacing the infections. The infections was predominant at that time, before that. And after the advent of antibiotics and vaccination, and that become extinct almost, then the lifestyle diseases started. The gurus were advising us regarding the importance of exercise and food, the proper dietary management in health. Food and exercise are diet medicine, so called by father of medicine. Even late, Elliot Jocelyn is considered as the father of modern diabetic management. He also considered exercise along with dietary modification in the most important part of managing diabetes. Sir William Osler, he is considered as the father of modern medicine. He said, one of the first duties of the physician is to educate the masses not to take medicine. That means he was not against medicine, but he was mentioning that the main aim of a physician is to teach masses regarding proper lifestyle. That means proper diet and exercise. The advices are plenty and free too. This is the new SCCM 2011 guidelines for exercises. There are similar guidelines by ADA, IDF, and AHA, etc., etc. But where are we doctors now? After giving so many advices, where are we? This was a study published in DNA. An observation in February 2010. An observation by IMA Pune chapter says an average Indian lives up to 69 to 72 years, whereas a doctor lives only up to 55 to 59 years. It is shocking. It was noticed that most of the early deaths were due to cardiac arrest. It's a very, very important thing. We are caring the health of we are preventing complications of disease. We are caring the health of the people, but our lifespan is decreasing. And the so-called Kerala is having high healthcare indices. But this was a study conducted by IMA Kerala in 2017. The average lifespan of a Kerala doctor is only 62 years, whereas the average lifespan of a person of Kerala is almost 76 to 77 years. So here also it is less. So thing is that we should take care of our body. It's the only place we have to live. The doctors have to live to protect the others. So our health is very important. We should be committed to be fit. So coming to my topic, exercise and fitness. Another thing is that most of us have faced similar things. The advice on lifestyle modification to a person is like a super duper Hindi film. It contains sentiments like this. Gravity has lowered my chest, my stomach, and my butt. Why hasn't it lowered my cholesterol? Arguments like this. Dinosaurs didn't smoke cigarette, drink alcohol, or eat junk food. And where are they now? It also contains advices like this. An excellent way to lose weight is by skipping snacks and desserts. And usually, as like any duper Hindi film, there will be happy endings. I was on a strict diet for a month and lost 30 days. So coming back to the statistics, our statistics, India has got a dubious distinction of the diabetic capital of the world. See, this is a statistics, 2011 statistics show that India is on the second position, China with 90 million diabetic persons is on the first place, and US on the third. The predicted thing is that in 2030 also, China will be in the top position with 129 million and India with 101 million. In 2030 also, China will be on the first place, and why India is considered as the diabetic capital of the world. So see, there is something called a conversion rate. Conversion rate is the percentage of pre-diabetes person turning diabetic each year. That is almost 8 to 10% in different part of India, and compared to other countries, including China, which is only 2 to 4%. So the percentage of person turning diabetic each year is very high in India compared to any other country in the world, including China. That is why India is considered as a diabetic capital of the world. We are on the second place in another thing also, this obesity. And obesity, US is on the first place, India on the second, and China on third. And the question is why we are becoming obese and diabetes and having the morbidities and mortalities due to obesity, why it is increasing. The first thing, see, this is a fact. When the household items get slimmer, the users will get fatter. That means we don't have enough daily activities, even at the house. Second, in the sedentary lifestyle, this is our youngsters. They'll be sitting hours and hours in front of the computer doing everything, and we are injecting this improper lifestyle in our kids also. Previously, you know that we had malnutrition. Now we have malnutrition, and the result you can see the result you will become what you eat. It is evident from this cartoon. And recently, this pandemic has also given its contribution to the increase in obesity. So these are the scenes before lockdown. You can see the size of the viewers. And after lockdown 1 and lockdown 2, and I'm frightened that we now have lockdown 3. This is not a blunder. See, this is the statistics from China. COVID, obesity, and LSD. See, you can see that after the first lockdown, it was January to April, May 2020. See, the youth, the BMI of the youth increased from 21.8 to 22. And the prevalence of overweight and obesity increased from the overweight from 21 to 24.6 and obesity from 10.5 to 12.6. Coming to the benefits of exercise, you know the benefits. I will not be going to the details of this, but I will be concentrating on a few points like weight control. One important question is exercise essential to reduce body weight? The question usually comes on the patients, because we usually advise half an hour of moderate intensity aerobic exercise for persons. And they know that with moderate intensity exercise of half hour, that will burn around 100 to 200 calories according to the weight. So everyone, most of the persons also know something about everything from the net. So the question will be, why you advise exercise? Why should I waste 30 minutes from my busy schedule? Can I avoid 2 dosas, 2 pieces of bread, 1 omelette, 1 roti, 2 glasses of tea, etc., which contain almost 100 to 200 calories? What should be your answer? Why should I waste my time on exercise? See, why? As I mentioned, persons are confused with this net addiction. There are several ads. Ads usually confuse. This is anus. Don't confuse it with some other word. So definitely they confuse, like ads on Fair and Lovely. There are several ads on obesity management also. These are some oil which was available in India a decade before. Just apply on your stomach. That will melt, the fat will melt. And the sauna belt, different sort of belts, and some slim centers like this Gundu Slim Center. There are ads like this: 3 kg loss for 30,000, 5 kg loss for 50,000, and Xmas New Year offer 1.5 kg loss free. These are some of the ads. So persons are very much confused due to the addiction to net and these ads. So what should be your answer? Is it true, like this cartoon, my low-fat diet really works? The fat hangs lower every day. That means if you don't exercise and if you concentrate on diet alone, will the truncal obesity, the abdominal girth will increase? The answer is, when you are on diet alone, there is something called a homeostasis of your body, that you know. And the body will change, resist the change. So if a 70 kg person start dieting and the idea of losing weight, what happens is that body will resist this change in this 70 kg. So the first sign is, first it will increase the appetite. The body will increase the appetite using a strongest orexigenic hormone in the body. It is produced from the gut, which is called ghrelin. It will act on the ventral lobe of the hypothalamus, and this person will have a irresistible urge to consume food. So if the person suppresses that feeling also, the body will then reduce the PMR. There will be fatigue, easy fatiguability, sleepiness, decreased activity. So body will reduce the BMR. And he continues, and the diet is not enough to give a daily requirement for BMR. we think that the fat will be taken, but there is a lipostat in your body that will resist taking fat from the fat cells. So the next target will be muscle mass. You know that muscle along with liver is the organs which will control the metabolism. So decrease in muscle mass, that means decrease in lean mass means increase in cholesterol, increase in blood sugar, etc., etc. And this person, he may be losing some weight, but that will be put off again. So is that if you are on diet alone, the result is increase in body mass, decreased lean body mass, increased insulin resistance, and impaired glycemic control. So exercise is actually not to lose weight. Exercise is actually to maintain the BMR at a higher level and maintain the muscle mass. So I'll come to share you two cases. Case one, this is a usual things in your open. 30-year-old teacher, she is sedentary. She complains of generalized aches and pains, easy fatigue, increased appetite, increased weight, and investigations are normal, including this thyroid function test. She have increased waist circumference and increased triglycerides. And there is no signs of depression also. And case two, a 28-year-old male, he runs daily and vigorously, spent 4 hours in gym daily. He also complains of generalized aches and pains, frequent injuries. Investigation is normal except increased triglycerides. Whereas there is no signs of depression. So what is fitness and what is health? You know, the fitness is the ability to perform the physical activity. One can define the limits. The limit is endless. The limits of our fitness. You can walk a mile a day or train for a marathon or triathlon. On the other side, health is the optimal balance of all systems in the body: the nervous system, the musculoskeletal system, the circulatory, digestive, lymphatic, hormonal, and all other systems. So before going to the cases, I need to focus on some points on exercise physiology. It is boring, but we have to. So there is the energy balance. Regarding the stable body weight is maintained by balancing energy intake and energy expenditure. So intake minus expenditure. If it is zero, you will not add on weight. While metabolic systems can adjust for short-term changes in equilibrium, long-term imbalance of energy intakes over expenditure results in weight gain, obesity, and lifestyle diseases. So successful weight loss is achieved by reducing calorie intake and increasing energy expenditure with exercises. So energy expenditure, we have 3 categories. One is a BMR. You know that basal metabolic rate that refers to the energy necessary to sustain all the physiologic process in the body at rest. Thermic effect of food is energy we require to metabolize food, that is also known as postprandial thermogenesis. Third is the physical activity. So see, 5 to 10% the energy utilization is for thermic effect of food, 20 to 30% thermic effect of activity, and 60 to 75% resting energy expenditure. Coming to the BMR, you know that most significant contributor of total energy expenditure, according to almost 60 to 75%. You can increase the BMR in 2 ways: by increasing the muscle mass and by increasing the activity and number of mitochondria in muscle cells, especially the type 1 cells. So I'll go to the physical activity. See, we have got some energy systems. They are metabolic system involved in a series, results in a series of biochemical reactions, and at the end, there will be formation of ATP, carbon dioxide, water. This you know, but just brushing on our physiology. We have 3 major energy systems. One is an ATP-PC system. That means an ATP phosphocreatine system. So the ATP is stored inside the muscles for ready use. Second is an anaerobic glycolysis system. The ATP-PC system and the anaerobic glycolysis system are anaerobic. They won't need oxygen. And the aerobic system. The ATP-PC system is for emergency. It will be used for the first 10 to 30 minutes of intense exercise. The anaerobic glycolysis system, again, that is anaerobic. Glycogen is a fuel source. Lactic acid is produced as a byproduct. And the most important system is the aerobic system, where glucose and fat are the fuel sources and are utilized related to the availability and the intensity of exercise. See, this is the system which help you in slow, sustained activity like sitting. So this is the most important energy system. You know the muscle types, type 1 and type 2. I won't go to the detail. This is the most important slide in my presentation. This is the info I should transfer to you. The efficiency, glycogen will, when burned anaerobically, will give you 4 ATPs. 1 will be used. The result will be 3 ATPs. And glucose, when burned aerobically, will give you 40 ATPs. 4 will be used. Result is 36 ATPs. And free fatty acids will give you 140 to 150 ATPs according to the chain size. So the thing is, the most important thing is that if your body is able to burn nutrients aerobically, especially the free fatty acid, your efficiency will be high. That means like mileage. So the glycogen, when burned aerobically, that engine will give you 3 kilometers. Example. So glucose, when burned aerobically, will give you 36 ATPs, and free fatty acid will give you 140 to 150 ATPs. Another important question is, will exercise? Kindly mute. Hello. Someone's audio is still on.
Participants, please mute your audios when the speaker is speaking, please.
See, the question is, will exercise add years to your life? That means, will exercise increase your lifespan? The studies, several studies shows that the answer is yes. So an properly exercising person will have 15 to 20 years of lifespan than a sedentary person. Another $1 million question will be, will it add life to the years? So that means, will this person will be active and independent in the added years? So what is the importance of adding years to your life, and there is no life with the added years? That is the question. Again, the answer is yes. So an active person who is exercising scientifically will have 15 to 20 years more lifespan than a sedentary person. And this person will be independent, at least his or her activities of daily living until his death. So that is importance. So if a sedentary person, if they start training at a later age, they will get some benefits like that of an active person. So we'll get started regarding the exercise, the American College of Sports Medicine guidelines. So these are the types of exercise we should do for maintaining fitness and health. One is a cardiovascular exercise, otherwise known as aerobic exercise. Second is a resistance exercise. Third is a flexibility exercises. 4 is the optional, that is optional, neuromuscular exercises to improve balance and coordination. So the question is, are we giving advice on exercise? If yes, are we giving the correct advice? If yes, are the patients doing it correctly? See, coming to the aerobic exercise, these are all aerobic exercise. Walking, running, swimming, games, Zumba, dancing, etc., etc. So the point is that all these can be done aerobically or anaerobically. We'll come to it. So these are the recommendations. So these are the recommendation: engage in 150 minutes or more of moderate intensity exercise, aerobic activity per week, spread over at least 3 days a week. There is confusion again. What is aerobic? I've already said that aerobic exercise can be done aerobically or anaerobically. What is this moderate intensity, etc.? See, this is the definition of aerobic exercise: using the large muscle groups rhythmically for a period of 15 to 20 minutes or longer, while maintaining the heart rate between 50 to 70% of maximum. That is the key. So 15 to 20 minutes and 50 to 70% of maximum heart rate. These are the physiological adaptations in the muscles. So muscles will have increased capillary density, increased myoglobin, increased size and number of mitochondria, increased respiratory capacity per mitochondria, and vasodilation. So the blood circulation to the muscles will be increased. There will be more than enough mitochondria where this aerobic metabolism happens. And you know that the fuel of the human body is oxygen. So if the blood circulation to the muscle increases, and if the mitochondria and myoglobin increases, the muscles will be able to absorb adequate oxygen from the blood provided. So that is what happens in the muscles. In the heart, there will be increased preload. That means because with aerobic exercise, there will be some hypertrophy of the peripheral heart. So there will be increased preload, and there will be decreased afterload because there is angiogenesis. You know that there is muscle, there is blood. So the blood vessels are increased in the muscles. You know that according to the Poiseuille's equation. So the force will decrease. So there will be increased preload and the decreased afterload. That is the most favorable condition for the heart to work. So the heart can reduce the weight, so reduce the rate, and it can pump enough blood. So the heart rate, the BP, both systole and diastole will be known. So this is why, because this exercise actually protects the heart and vessels, that is why it is known as cardios. So the aerobic conditioning, that means what I've told, that aerobic condition means your heart will be protected. It also means that the ability of our body to utilize free fatty acid as the main energy source. So you know that when the glucose is used as the main fuel source using the anaerobic muscles. So what happens is that glucose is the main fuel. Because the sugar is only used, there will be fat deposition. So because the glucose is used, which will give only 3 ATPs, your appetite will be high, and that too for craving for sugar-rich food. Here, your appetite will come down actually, because the ATP produced from free fatty acid is 130 to 150, whereas the ATPs produced by glucose when burned anaerobically will be only 3. So the appetite should come down. So in aerobic condition, your heart rate, your systolic blood pressure, your diastolic blood pressure, and the cholesterol, as well as your appetite will come down. So this is what I am telling you, your appetite will decrease, and there will be reduced craving for glucose-rich food. So when you improve your aerobic system, the fat burning capabilities will be increased, and you will be able to obtain 70% of your energy from fat and 30 from sugar, because some organs like brain need sugar only. But persons with aerobic deficiency only get 10% of their energy from fat, forcing a full 90% to come from sugar. That is the difference. Coming back to the case 1, the 30-year-old teacher, sedentary, general aches and pains, CC, fatigue. You know that is a common presentation in our OPs. So she is suffering from something known as the aerobic deficiency syndrome. Probably this is the syndrome of the century. So aerobic deficiency syndrome is when the aerobic system is not well developed and maintained. We have to know again that aerobic system is actually, when untrained, it will be in a shutdown state. But an aerobic system, because that is for emergency, it will work at any time. So the aerobic system will get switched on only on training. That is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic system. So when the aerobic system is not well developed, you will be utilizing only the anaerobic system, even for sitting. So that will produce more lactic acid. That will be using only sugar. So there will be more triglyceride, fat deposition, etc., etc. So this is the major risk for lifestyle diseases. There will be fatigue, general aches and pains because there is a lot of lactic acid. Frequent hunger. I've already mentioned what is the reason for hunger and craving for sweets, excess fat storage, etc. So exercise prescription. This is very important. You should prescribe exercise like when you prescribe drugs. But the thing is that most of our patients are very, very complaint regarding your advices. Like this person, the doctor asked me to spend at least an hour per day on treadmill, and the patient said, why not? So your exercise prescription should be tailor-made. Should talk to the patient regarding the time of exercise or likes and dislikes, etc. So there should be consideration regarding the schedule, hobbies, interests, skills, ability, and financial capacity. So the person should start the exercise slowly, gently, and gradually only she should step up. The dictum is that what one has not done for a lifetime cannot be accomplished overnight. Also start slowly and go steady. So coming to the intensity, what should be the intensity? Well, if one describes aerobic exercise as a series of strenuous exercise which help convert fat, sugars, and proteins into aches, pains, and craft, means, brother, you are doing it wrongly. So the intensity, know that the intensity is a maximum intensity is 220 minus age. Start with minimum intensity. That means a mild 50% of maximum heart rate. So if a 20-year-old person start with 100 and then increase to 60 to 70%. That means between 100 and 140. That is the moderate intensity. So the intensity should be moderate. That means 220 minus age and 60 to 70% of that. If you cross the 70% mark, you will be exercising, but your anaerobic system will be activated. You will be trained anaerobically, not aerobically. So aerobic exercise happens at the 60 to 70% of maximum heart rate. So there is something called a talk test. It's a simple test. You don't need equipment. That means mild means during exercise you can sing. That means you have just reached 50%. Moderate means you can talk, cannot sing, but you can talk with your friend exercising along with you. That means you had reached 50 to 70%. Vigorous means you are panting, huffing, you can only say words. That means you are now trained in aerobically. That means you have crossed the 70% mark. So the target should be this one, 50 to 70%. So assessing scientifically, you can buy fitness bands or trackers like this. It's available in Amazon. Even that will cost around 1,000 to 500 to 10,000. So with that, you can assess the heart rate. Coming to the case 2, 28-year-old runs daily vigorously. He seems he is very fit, but he also have the similar problems like that sedentary lady, plus frequent injuries. See, this is something known as syndrome of anaerobic excess. That means there is an imbalance between anaerobic and aerobic systems. So there is only training for anaerobic system. There is no utilization or no training on aerobic system. So here the main fuel is glucose. So similar things will happen. You know that Puneet, here is Puneet, is a Kannada actor. He is a victim of anaerobic excess. He can even produce arrhythmias, cardiomyopathy, etc. So there are a few phases of aerobic exercise. One is a warm-up. See, warm-up is not stretching. That is the first step of exercise. You can even stretch, but that is not stretching. Here, the warm-up is slowly shifting your blood into the working muscles. So the keyword is slow. So from the resting heart rate, you have to reach the set goal. That means the 50 to 70%. That means first 5 to 10 minutes of exercise should be for gradually increase the heart rate from the resting to the desired. So this is A is the warm-up, B is the exercise proper, and C is the cool down. So the cool down means final 5 to 15 minutes of exercise, slowly lowering the heart rate from the maximum possible, the target level, back to the resting level. This is very important because if you abruptly stop exercising, there will be pooling of blood in the exercising muscle, there will be cramps, edema, etc. So coming back to the recommendations, so you should engage in 150 minutes or more of moderate intensity exercise activity per week. This means 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, and not 150 minutes of exercise. That means this part should be 150 minutes. So if you want to exercise half an hour per day, there should be 5 to 10 minutes of warm-up and another 5 to 10 minutes of cool-up. That means the exercise the session should be 40 to 50 minutes. So the exercise proper is 30 minutes. So coming to the last few slides, resistance training. Should we need resistance training? The answer is yes. But there should be a balance between aerobic and anaerobic. So the changing body composition is one hallmark in sedentary and physiological aging. And there will be almost 5%, 5 to 8% loss muscle mass per loss after the age of 30, which is more rapid after the age of 65. So that can result in increased metabolic syndrome and CP. So the resistance exercise is to maintain or increase the muscle bulk, as I already told. Muscle and liver is the area, the organs concerned with metabolism. So the increase and the maintenance of muscle bulk maintain the BMR. And most of this strength exercise involve lifting or pushing external weights or your own weight. We actually won't need costly equipment like dumbbells, or you not go to the gym. You can use TheraBands, dumbbells, or you can fill a plastic bottle with sand. You can use that as dumbbell or a chair. So you can use a resistance band. I won't go to the details. You know the exercises, rest curl, simple exercise. And coming to another confusing area, the yoga. It's a usual questions from the audience regarding yoga. Yoga here, this is the advice. You know, we need aerobic, we need resistance, we need flexibility, and we need balance training. Yoga contains all the last three: the resistance, the flexibility, and balance. Not aerobic. It is not aerobic. So you can do aerobic exercise by like walking, running, etc. And you can add yoga. So it will be an adjunct, not just an exercise. It is not a complete exercise actually. So advantage, you know, the aerobic postures and muscle stretching, flexibility, balance. There are breathing exercise and relaxation, but there is nothing called aerobic. Coming to the precautions, this is our Malayali actor Mohanlal. He's wearing a leather jacket under the hot sun. So especially during the summer seasons, you should not use dresses like this. It can definitely cause heat burns. So if you want to invest, you should invest on a pair of good tennis shoes and a fitness mat. That is the only investment you need, a pair of good tennis shoe and a fitness mat. Another question, usual question is, shall we start? Can I start using treadmill? Treadmill should not be used initially because it is a high impact activity like running. Even if you make it very slow, it is a high impact activity. It can damage the joint. Once you become aerobically fit, you can start. Same regarding this elliptical trainer. But you can use a static cycle, or if you are trained, you can do swimming. It's okay. So if you are a diabetic person, kindly use sugar packets and address and phone number, because the most important DD, differential diagnosis of hypoglycemia in India, is this condition produced by recreational areas like this. So my take-home message is, the secret of staying healthy and young is to proper exercise, move a little more and eat a little less, and lie about your age. And this is our Another actor from Malayalam, he is Mr. Mammootty, Padma Shri Mammootty. Can you imagine his age? He's 72. He'll be turning 72 this September. And Rekha, see the date of birth is 1954. She is Lady Mammootty. So we have got lifestyle, 2 lifestyle options. Don't exercise, eat all you want, and probably die early. Second is exercise daily, count calories, merely wish you are dead. And the first slide I have shown you, the average lifespan of an Indian doctor is only less than 60 years, or in Kerala it is 62 years. That means we have opted on the first. But you cannot advise for patients like this, here obese. We should be leaders to create good roles for others to follow. So we can make our India healthy, heal our India. And thank you very much for the opportunity, dear Sahoo. And thank you for the patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Roy. Excellent presentation and some eye-opening facts and tricks regarding these exercises for fitness. Can I request Sanjay sir to comment on this? Hello.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Roy.
Thank you, sir.
Very exhaustive and a very knowledge-gaining topic you have discussed. What are the day-to-day life and exercise, how it benefits, everything we have discussed in detail. But one question I would ask you, in yoga, there is no acceleration and calm period then going down. That is warm up and continuing exercise and cool down. That thing is not there in yoga. What do you say? What is your opinion?
It is there, sir. The stretching part is actually, there is a stretching called Surya Namaskara, and there is a relaxation part called Shavasana. There is stretching and exercise proper, stretching, exercise proper, and relaxation. There is. Actually, the thing lacking is aerobic. There is nothing called aerobic. Total anaerobic posture, stretching, and flexibility.
Yeah. Another point I want to mention, the timing for the fitness exercises, one should be in empty stomach either in the morning or in the afternoon hours when the stomach is empty. Is that correct? Or you can do exercise, as I have seen in foreign countries, they do exercise anytime they want, even at night,
actually,
2 o'clock.
Ideally, better is in the morning, because you'll be after rest, your body will be okay. It is not strained or so that may be better in the morning.
You advise for better exercise?
Never do exercise soon after your food. Ideally,
yeah, that's right. That's what I am telling.
Another thing is
in the morning or in the afternoon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For diabetic person, especially Aditya.
कल आज तक नहीं था, कल इस पे ज्वाइन किया है। कितना फोन आता रहा था, कितना और फोन किए? हाँ, फोन आया, बात करें ना।
Dear Aditya, kindly mute. Sir,
please go ahead with your questions.
Okay, sir. Sir, regarding diabetic person, especially brittle. See, during exercise, another thing happened is that the decrease in insulin resistance. That may persist up to 12 to 16 hours. So in a person with brittle diabetes, better to do the exercise in the morning, because this person with brittle diabetes and in persons with the hypoglycemia unawareness, that means autonomic neuropathy, there can be hypoglycemia during the night and the person won't be aware. So that persons, they must do exercise in the morning. Otherwise, they can do it at any time.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Pavitra, can be any other question can be arise?
Looking in the chat box. There is no more question in the chat box. No question in the chat box. So in that situation, I think there is no more questions. We can wind up the session. Thank you, Dr. Roy, Thank you, Sanjay sir, for giving your consent for chairing the session. And thank you, Dr. Roy,
Thank you, Sahoo. Thank you, sir.
this beautiful presentation. You have cleared so many doubts regarding exercise, because these things are not our in the normal textbook. So you have done excellent job. I hope all our participants must have gained this knowledge, and they can spread this knowledge to their patients also. And as a customer, I must thank Sanjay sir and Dr. Roy for giving their consent and joining in the session. And I thank from core of my heart all the office bearers of IAPMR, APMRO, and the entire PR team for arranging this webinar. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Sahoo. Thank you, sir. Sanjay sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rai. Thank you very much.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.